Imagine the moment it happens. Someone says something cutting, something designed to hit you exactly where you're most vulnerable. You feel that sudden, sharp heat rising in your chest. Your heart rate spikes, your throat tightens, and a flood of words rushes to the tip of your tongue. In that split second, you are standing on a knife's edge. You feel the overwhelming urge to defend yourself, to strike back, to prove them wrong. But here is the cold, hard truth that most people realize too late. The moment you react, you've already lost. You have handed over the keys to your internal peace to someone who doesn't even have their own life in order. To be truly unbothered isn't about being a robot or suppressing your feelings. It is the ultimate form of psychological dominance. It's the realization that your attention is the most valuable currency you possess, and by reacting, you are giving it away for free. The secret to staying calm when someone tries to provoke you lies in a single, profound Stoic realization. No one can hurt you without your own cooperation. If you don't agree to be insulted, the insult doesn't exist. It's just noise, vibrations in the air that have no power until you decide to give them meaning. To understand why we get so easily rattled, we have to look at the psychological framework of the inner citadel. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, believe that every human has a mental fortress. Inside this fortress is your character, your reason, and your peace. Outside the fortress are things you cannot control: the weather, the economy, and, most importantly, the opinions and actions of other people. The problem is that most of us live with our gates wide open. We let every passerby, every toxic coworker, and every internet troll walk right into our sanctuary and set fire to the furniture. We suffer because we believe that what happens out there should dictate how we feel in here. But there is a better way. To become unbothered, you must master the art of the gap. Between the stimulus, the insult, the eye roll, the passive-aggressive comment, and your response, there is a space. In that space lies your power and your freedom. If you can widen that gap, even by just 5 seconds, the entire dynamic changes. You stop being a person who reacts, and you become a person who observes. Let's break down the 6 pillars of the unbothered mind, the practical methods that will allow you to remain as still as a mountain while the storm rages around you. The first pillar is the law of social mirroring. When someone tries to provoke you, you must understand that their behavior is almost never about you. It is a confession of their own internal state. Think about it. A person who is truly happy, fulfilled, and at peace with themselves feels no need to tear someone else down. Provocation is the language of the insecure. It is an outward expression of an inner war. When someone attacks you, they are essentially handing you a mirror and showing you their own pain, their own lack of control, and their own fragility. Psychologically, this is known as projection. They are projecting their feelings of inadequacy onto you to see if they can make you feel as small as they do. If you get angry, you've accepted their projection. You've agreed to play their game. But if you look at them with a sense of detached curiosity, almost like a scientist observing a specimen, the power shift is immediate. Instead of thinking, "How dare they say that to me?" you should think, "I wonder what is happening in their life that makes them feel the need to say that." This shifts you from a victim to an observer, and observers are very difficult to provoke. The second pillar is the concept of puppet strings. Every time you lose your temper because of something someone said, you are handing them a set of strings. You are saying, "If you pull this string, I will get angry. If you pull that string, I will become defensive." You are effectively making yourself their puppet. Epictetus, the slave-turned-philosopher, once said, "If someone handed your body over to some passerby, you'd be furious. Why aren't you ashamed that you hand over your own mind to any person who happens to insult you?" Realizing this is a massive ego check. Do you really want to be that easy to manipulate? Do you want your emotional state to be at the mercy of a stranger's bad mood? To be unbothered is to cut the strings. It is the refusal to be moved by external forces. When you remain calm in the face of an attack, the provocateur loses their power. They are trying to get a reaction because a reaction is a form of validation. By denying them that reaction, you leave them standing alone with their own toxicity. This brings us to the third pillar, the power of strategic silence. In a world that can't stop talking, silence is the ultimate high-status move. Most people think that winning an argument means having the last word or the sharpest comeback. But in reality, the person who speaks less usually has more power. When someone provokes you, they expect a counterattack. They are braced for it. When you respond with nothing, or perhaps a simple, calm, okay, you break their rhythm. Silence creates a vacuum that the other person feels the need to fill. They will often keep talking, digging themselves into a deeper hole, becoming more erratic while you remain composed. This is where people lose control. They start yelling because they can't handle the fact that you aren't yelling back. Your silence isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of immense self-discipline. It shows that you are so secure in who you are that their words don't even warrant a rebuttal. You aren't ignoring them because you're afraid. You're ignoring them because they aren't worth the energy. But what if the words actually hurt? This is where the fourth pillar comes in: cognitive reevaluation. Stoicism teaches us that it isn't the event itself that upsets us, but our judgment of the event. If someone calls you a useless failure, why does it hurt? It only hurts if, on some deep level, you fear they might be right, or if you believe their opinion holds weight. Imagine a 3-year-old child comes up to you and tells you that you're a poopy head. You wouldn't get angry. You wouldn't lose sleep over it. You would probably laugh or just walk away. Why? Because you don't value the child's judgment on that topic. You know it's just noise. To be unbothered, you must treat the provocations of toxic adults with the same weight you give to a toddler's tantrum. You have to realize their opinion of you is just a series of thoughts in their head, and those thoughts have zero physical reality. They cannot touch you, they cannot change your worth, and they cannot alter your character unless you let them. The fifth pillar is the practice of premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. Most of us are easily bothered because we expect the world to be kind and people to be reasonable. We are shocked when someone is rude. But Marcus Aurelius started every morning by telling himself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." He didn't do this to be a pessimist. He did it to be prepared. When you walk into your day expecting that someone might try to push your buttons, you take away the element of surprise. Surprise is the fuel of anger. If you've already visualized a scenario where a coworker takes credit for your work, or a stranger cuts you off in traffic, when it actually happens, you can simply say to yourself, here it is, just as I expected. You've already dealt with the emotion in your mind, so the reality doesn't sting. You aren't being cynical, you're being bulletproof. You are refusing to let the chaos of the world catch you off guard. The final pillar, and perhaps the most important, is the principle of amor fati, the love of fate. This is the idea that every challenge, every annoying person, and every provocation is actually an opportunity for growth. Instead of seeing a person who is trying to provoke you as an obstacle to your peace, see them as a personal trainer for your character. You cannot learn patience without being tested by someone who is irritating. You cannot learn forgiveness without being wronged. You cannot learn self-control without being tempted to lose it. In this light, the person trying to provoke you is actually doing you a favor. They are providing the resistance you need to build your emotional muscles. When you shift your perspective from, "Why is this happening to me?" to "How is this training me?" you become truly invincible. You stop resenting the provocation and start using it. As you integrate these pillars, you'll notice a shift in your identity. You stop identifying as someone who is sensitive or hot-headed and start identifying as a person of high character and deep composure. You realize that being unbothered is not about being cold or distant. It's about being free. It's the freedom to decide how you will feel, regardless of what is happening around you. The ultimate victory in any conflict is not to defeat the other person, but to remain unchanged by them. If someone tries to make you angry and you remain calm, you have won. If someone tries to make you feel small and you remain confident, you have won. If someone tries to pull you into the mud and you keep walking with your head held high, you have won. This is the path of the Stoic, but it's also the path of anyone who wants to live a life of meaning and dignity. The world will always be full of people who want to project their darkness onto you. It is your job and your job alone to keep your light burning steady. Mastery of self is the only true mastery. The next time someone tries to provoke you, Remember, they are offering you a gift of fire. You don't have to take it. You can just watch it burn out while you remain cool, collected, and completely unbothered. If this resonated with you, I want you to do one thing today. The next time you feel that surge of irritation, no matter how small, just wait. Breathe into that gap. Recognize the puppet strings and refuse to let them be pulled. If you found value in this perspective, reflect on which of these pillars you need the most right now, and let's discuss it in the comments. We are all students of this philosophy, and your insights help the rest of this community grow. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and above all, stay unbothered.